one of the saddest and most disheartening things that I see a lot, and we've all seen it for quite some time now, is the man versus woman debate. And I'm going to preface this video by saying it happens in every community. It happens in all races. But I'm going to speak about the black man versus the black woman debate, or the black woman versus the black man, because I can only speak from my perspective and what affects my home and my community. And as someone who grew up with both parents, you know, my parents have been married for 45 years. I didn't see the type of animosity that is just out here nowadays. I mean, it's like it's a never-ending debate about who's this and who's that, who's right and who's wrong. And I see it all the time. They say, oh, black men aren't what they used to be, and black women aren't what they used to be. And this is true, but it's not true at the same time, because I can tell you without a doubt, there are countless black men out here who are ready, willing, and able to step up and be the men for their wives, for their children, for their communities that they're supposed to be. And I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that there are countless black women out here who are ready to step up and be the wives, be the mothers, be the women that they need to be for their communities. So I don't want to hear all that extra curricular talk, because I know it's not true. That is a very small portion of our community, but unfortunately, that portion has a very, very loud voice. And I'll tell you who's not listening to that voice. The people, the couples who are in healthy, happy, not perfect, but marriages and relationships. They're focused on what works for them. The people who also don't listen are those who may be single, but they're smart enough, wise enough to know that it isn't everybody. It's not the black men who think all black women are bad. It's not the black women who think all black men are bad. I mean, that in itself is just, it's stupid. It's very, very stupid. It's superficial and it's stupid. And yes, there are fundamental differences between us that we just have to deal with, that we can't get around. But those differences can actually work for us in our favors. So instead of having a bunch of circular reasoning going around when it comes to trying to gain understanding, I mean, because we still debate about 50-50. There are women who say you're not a real man if you don't pay all the bills. And there are men who say you're not a real woman if you don't do this, that, and the third. Listen, let me tell you something. You don't have to be a genius to know that the only thing you need to worry about is doing what works for you and your home. You can't take what someone else does and think it automatically becomes applicable to your situation. That's just not how it goes. You know, people have this idea of what they think things should be, and that's just not the case. That may work for those people, but you don't know what they had to go through to get there. And you don't know what it takes for them to sustain that and keep it going the way it does. What you need to do is find someone that works for you, and then you build together. That's just the bottom line. We will all be better off if we paid attention to the business that pays us. Mind your business, because the debate really stems from who wants to be in control. And we don't have time to be in control. We work together over here. That's what you're supposed to do. When you work together as a team, when you put petty things to the side, then you get a lot more accomplished. That's just it. You're not worried about who's paying what and who's taking care of this and who's taking care of that. No, when there's a team, when you have a team mentality, then you're ready and you're willing and able to play your part with no complaints. Being a real woman isn't easy. Being a real man isn't easy. But we still step up and we do what we have to do with no complaints. Because we know when we focus on home, the rest of the world, the outside world, it doesn't matter. So to see all the man bashing, the black man bashing, and to see all the black woman bashing, I mean, come on now. It's old at this point. And I don't see it ending anytime soon. That's just the bottom line. Like, I don't see it ending anytime soon. And people need to start taking accountability for themselves and for their actions, and also stop blaming other people for what someone else has done to you. See, there's so many roots to this problem that we have to figure out which one affects us individually. So what one person has an issue with, that might not be another person's issue when it comes to why black men and black women just can't seem to get along. And if we don't cut this off at the kneecaps, we're doomed. And like I said in the beginning, this happens in every race, in every neighborhood, in every community. But it just seems to happen more in ours because it seems to be set up for it to be that way. They know that if we stay divided, then how can we grow? How can we become the people, the community, the families that we need to be? I mean, it's just as simple as that. I don't want to go off too much about it because the conversation, it's a simple thing, but it's complicated at the same time. But I don't want to go off too much about it. But we need to wake up like now and realize that, hey, black women, speaking for black men out here, we love you. We protect you. I know they say you're the most unprotected people in this world, but there are those of us out there, like I saw my daddy protect my mama, protect our family. We're here to protect. We're here. We do that. It's not all of us. And black men, there are black women out here who are ready to be who you need them to be, but they get overlooked. These are good women, but they get overlooked because they're pushing this certain type on everybody. When if you paid attention to the person, not the looks do matter in a sense, don't get me wrong, but if you paid attention to who's good for you, then, you know, a lot of this would just go away. Then we just have smaller issues to take care of. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, this black man versus black woman debate, it's old. It's old. It's old. I mean, what are we gonna teach the new generation, the youth that are coming up? Because if all we're sowing are seeds of discord and hate and misunderstanding, then what we are going to reap is the elimination of our community. All because they want us going at each other's heads. They want us constantly arguing and bickering about stupid things. The black man versus black woman debate, I mean, come on now. Come on now. We try to get to it. I see, but then you have people, and like I said, I don't want to go, but it gets deep. You know, you have people who, on both sides, you have men who do it and women who do it. They pander to the opposite sex for whatever reason. These days, it could be clout, it could be money, it could be because they're trying to be a pick-me, whatever the case is, man. Like, but then you have black men and black women who try to school the opposite sex. You have black men who try to school black women, and black women who try to school black men who try to school black men, black women who try to school black women to say, hey, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Don't miss out on something good because everything else looks bad. You can't put that on everybody. And I don't want to go off too much, like I said. So we have to get this under control. We have to let it be known, hey, we're here for each other, because without you, there's no us. Without us, there's no you.